Have you ever thought about what you would do if you find yourself crashing your vehicle into the water? Probably not. Not many people do. Today I'm going to share some real tips on what to do if you find yourself in this situation. Today I'm going to talk about some of the things you can do to increase your chances of survival. Most car collisions happen so quickly we don't even see them coming. But if you're in a situation where you see that it's about to happen, there are a few things you can do to increase your chances of survival. Tip number 1, stay calm. Tip number 2, unlock your doors, roll your windows down. Tip number 3, grab onto something like the steering wheel, the dashboard, or the window frame if your window's open, and release your seatbelt. Tip number 4, pull yourself out of the open window. Follow the bubbles up to the surface. If your door is stuck or your window's up and you can't get it down, you're going to need to find a hard object and break that window. You need to use an actual glass break tool, which I'll show you a couple examples here, and I'll put links in the description to other websites where you can take a better look at them. I carry one right in my center console. It's good to have. It's a nice sturdy object that can break the window if you hit it in the right spot. Usually it's in a corner part of the glass, the weak area. Some of them actually have seatbelt cutters on them as well. Now if you don't have one of these glass break tools, you can also use any hard object like a heel of a shoe or a cell phone to break that glass. Whatever you need to do to break that glass. Once the glass is broken, you pull yourself out. Now, if there isn't much water inside when you try to do this, you're going to have a ton of water rushing in. You may have to wait for that water to equalize the pressure before you can actually exit out. In addition, if you feel you need to get your door open somehow, you are going to need to wait until the pressure is more equal before you can actually push that door open as well. Climbing out and swimming out, you're slowly exhaling as you ascend to the surface of the water. Now, if your exit is blocked somehow or some way, you can't get that door open, or you do get that door open or the window's open, but the vehicle has turned on its side or is against a rock under the water, whatever the case may be, now you need to think about going to another exit, the closest next exit, so if you're a passenger, that might be the driver's side. If you're the driver, it might be the passenger side. What you do in that situation is, before you release that belt, grab onto something like the steering wheel or the dashboard, release that seatbelt, walk yourself over to that other exit. I retired from the New Jersey State Police after 25 years of service. Prior to that, I was a paramedic. During my time in the State Police, as a commercial helicopter pilot, I was assigned to the Aviation Bureau and flew helicopters for many years. Part of our training included underwater egress survival training. The training I received was incredible, and I would highly recommend that any pilot flying anywhere near water attends this training, because it just gives you the confidence and the skills necessary to survive if you ever have to ditch your aircraft into the water. All the military pilots go through it. It's great training. In fact, I put a link below to the company name. It's Survival Systems USA, and you can go check out some of their videos. They provide this training. It's awesome. They handle aircraft ditching emergencies, and they do other water survival courses too, and they also do training that they will tailor to your specific needs. So you can reach out to them if you or your company is interested in their training. What I'm going to talk about today is about crashing your car into the water. Now, while I did not receive specific training from them on this, I do think there are some similarities. If you do a search on YouTube, you'll see there are several news outlets that have done stories on ditching vehicles or crashing vehicles into the water. I saw one where they had a crew and they had divers, and they put the car on a cable, released the car into the water, and they had a news anchor in there in the water. Of course, she had scuba gear on and she could breathe, but they actually showed how quickly the car fills with water and that you want to get yourself out as soon as possible. Now, of course, this is even more important if the car is sinking and it's in a very deep lake or river. So obviously you want to get out before it sinks too deeply. Every situation is different, and again, these tips are tips to provide you with a way of thinking about the emergency before it happens. So if you're already prepared, if you already have in your head, okay, I might have to wait until the water level rises in the car to equalize the pressure so I can actually get this door open. Maybe your window doesn't go down, and maybe you have nothing to break the window. Maybe you've tried to break the window and it just won't break. So maybe now your only other choice is to actually get that door open. If you try to push that door open underwater when you have very little water inside, you're not going to be able to do it. All that water pressure on the outside, you're going to have to wait till the car fills up inside with water to be able to get that door open. I would say have the mindset that you need to get yourself out. You can't wait for someone to come in. I know there have been stories where cars have gone underwater and there have been pockets of air and they've survived for a while underneath in the water, but I would not assume that that's going to be the case in your situation. So you go into the water in your car, I would say the first thing, try to get those windows down if they're electric. Try to unlock your doors right away. If your window's down and you're in the water, you can release that seatbelt while holding onto your steering wheel or some other handle, and then pull yourself out of that open window. Think about what you need to do. And I do believe that thinking about these type of emergencies, it does better prepare you for the emergency if it ever does happen to you. To recap, stay calm. Unlock your doors, roll your windows down. Grab onto something, hold onto something, then release your seatbelt. Pull yourself out of your open window or door. Follow the bubbles to the surface. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe.